Welcome back to Press Conference.
Hello.
Yay.
I'm so excited for this episode, Amanda.
This is going to
But
be a monumental moment in our lives.
right? And before we begin, I got to ask you, how was your weekend? Because I know you had some, extra things happen.
I think I will never emotionally recover from how incredible this weekend was. Rose came to play, so I got to work with her this weekend and make TikToks for Play, and it was literally the best because I love Rose, and I've been waiting for her to be rebooked at Play for so long. And then yesterday, I saw a Drag Queen Christmas. The tour came to Nashville, and I had DM'd the girls. Like, I just DM'd Crystal and Jasmine. I was like, hey, we know you're gonna be in town, so if you want to come to Play, we'll reserve a booth for you because we know how much you love us and we love you. And we were like, bring all the cast and crew you want.
Yeah.
And then after the show, I go and I'm just waiting in the booth. I'm like, oh, they might not even come. And then the entire cast and crew showed up. So all the backup dancers, all the queens. So it was Crystal, I finally met Jan. Oh my God, that was the best. Silky, Trinity, Manila, Jimbo, and Nina
and Jasmine.
But it was a really fun time. So that was so great. And I just did not expect them to actually come through. I was like, little old me invited them and they showed up. Yeah.
That's
it was
incredible.
really fun. Thank you.
I love that.
How was your week? Anything exciting?
Nothing. I did nothing. Literally.
Oh. Sometimes it's the best thing to do is just absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I drank a lot.
That's something.
And that's
yes.
But other than that, it was fine. Anyways, without any delay, we have a legend
in the house tonight.
Oh yes, it's the winner of Drag Race Down Under Season 2, the winner of House of Drag Season 2. She is Spankie Mothertucker in the house tonight. I'm glad I bought a hanky because I'm gonna win this fight. I don't know who the tuck you are and why the hell you're here, but it doesn't even matter, we need filler in here.
Oh my God, I love that. What an intro. Fabulous. I love that you know all the words as well. Like, you're really representing, so I appreciate that. I mean, I get asked all the time, people ask me about the hanky line, because they're like, what did you mean by that? And I'm like, you need a hanky to wipe up your tears, because you're going to lose, boo. That was the, right? That was the meaning. Yeah.
Oh!
I know, so much
but
sense.
I had to explain it, so it kind of made that much sense.
We've got Wilhelmina Shakespeare in here.
Yeah.
I love Wilhelmina Shakespeare.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
down for that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wilhelmina Shakespeare. What's the new name?
Spankie, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
How is Palmerston?
Palmerston, yeah.
Really? And is it balmy and
It's
palmy?
not balmy and palmy today. No, it is not. It has been, but it's been really moist. So lots of rain. And my plants, I just planted some flowers too. And then of course the rain ruined the flowers. So I'm a little bit upset with the weather right now in Palmerston North. Ruining my flowers.
Yeah. And I gotta ask you, Spankie, because I mean, you won Drag Race. You're a winner, literally, because you won House of Drag. You won Drag Race Down Under. It's like, how does it feel to always win? Do the girls in New Zealand hate you?
Look, I don't know. I'm still really perplexed by even both wins. It's considering giving up everything in Melbourne to move back to New Zealand and kind of life stopping for me for a good couple of years, and then to have such progress is quite rewarding and just overwhelming, and I'm very grateful to not have lost something that meant so much to me. So the fact that I've been able to prove twice, that I've got the talent, there's no denying that, babes. I've got the talent. Okay, the looks are getting better. We're working at it. It's a work of progress. But I really don't care at the end of the day. I'm just went in to compete, and it was really a test for myself in both seasons. It wasn't about wanting the crown or doing that. It was about proving to myself, have you still got it? Have you still got the chops to be able to like stand up against these people in that world? And clearly I do. So thank you. I'll take both. Bye-bye.
Yes.
And also, nobody should come for your looks, because you know what? I will defend your looks to this day. The design challenge.
Oh, I like the
Right.
design challenge runway.
Honestly,
I
we
did.
should have invited
I thought it was creative.
Thank you.
iconic, and we should have invited Spankie. We should have invited Spankie for the ball challenge, because Mama is a designer.
I mean,
Exactly.
That
I mean, I tried. Like, I
No
did
lies
try,
here.
and that was the thing as well about that outfit, where I did. That's in my head. That's what I thought was going to happen. Was that I did try something completely different from everybody else. Most of them used like the native, like the bush and things like that, and the leaves, and they created something from that. That's why I chose the piping, because it was something completely different from anybody else. And the only other person was really Yuri and Pamara and Aubrey, who did something different. So, yeah, it was fucking hard work. And I was there till 5 a.m. in the morning. So, you know, I was prepared to sleep there that night. I said to them, I was like, I'm not going home. They're like, you have to go home. And I was like, but I'm not finished, so I'm not going home. I'll sleep under there tonight, and you just come back in the morning. And they were like, you have to go home. So it was like, I know it was awkward. I wanted to stay, and I would have stayed. But yeah, if I had more time, I wanted to make a headpiece out of the tubes as well. And I would have made a flap. I would have had pants or something. Something. But yeah, I still stand by it, and I think it became so bad that it was good, and the memes out of it were enough alone. I mean, honestly, the people had me cracking up and dying. Please, I love a good laugh at myself, do you know what I mean? Or at my expense, bring them on. Like, that gave me life.
Yes.
And I love how when you were lip syncing, the wings, I love how they flapped around when you were like lip syncing at the beginning. And I was like, this is this is just
you know,
legendary. Like
I do what I can.
This has been like lingering in my mind. So you do House of Drag season 2, which by the way I watched because you were on it after like you won your Drag Race Down Under. And I watched the first two, like I was watching it and I was like, when is she coming in? She's not in the first 2 episodes because you guys came in later. And how much of the experience was different for you, like the 2 shows? Because I know they're different shows, but just in terms of headspace and in terms of your drag, how was it different?
The other show, we all lived in this massive mansion. So we all lived there during filming. And they had like, you know, I can talk about that one, so that's fine. But each episode was filmed in a day. So we did like, there were 10 episodes and it was filmed in 10 days. And so I missed the first 3. And most of them were all sleeping in this room together in these single beds in one room together, and it was fucking a pigsty. It was a pigsty. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not sleeping there. But they had like built these bonds. And because I snore, which I was like grateful for, I ended up with my own room downstairs, which had a double bed. So I'm just saying, like, that really helped. That helped in that process. It really did. But as far as, it was a completely different thing. It was almost like Big Brother versus Drag Race. It was a very weird environment to be in, and I didn't know anybody. And you, again, same thing with Drag Race. I didn't know anybody, and it's one of those things where you then have to deal with everybody. And then when we eliminated, I mean, that was the hardest part. We had to choose who went home. Do you know what I mean? Or who we put up. So if I won, then it was like this, you went from joy to like horror, because you had to like then say to people, and one of them was going to go home. And the other worst part about that whole thing was, we would have to deal with that person for like 3 hours after with all of their emotions and stuff about being kicked off the show. And you'd feel so horrible. And you'd just be like, you have to sit there and listen to it. Like, it's just awful. And then, of course, me being an intruder, completely different experience. Do you know what I mean? I was breaking up friendships. And that's not my fault. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Like, couldn't help it. But
it's part of the
that's
game.
it. And Drag Race was the most I mean, both experiences, I had such a great time. I have nothing bad to say about them. But this was by far another level, and really hard work. From audition tape to, you know, through the whole way, it's hard work. So, you know, if you're not prepared to put in the work, you're not going to get the results. You're just not. So, but yeah, great. Had so much fun.
And I mean, your hard work showed up.
Well, I think
and your hard work showed up because
thank you. I mean, I don't
like from the first episode, like you were always on top.
Well, I mean, I like to be on top, but sometimes I like to be on the bottom. But very rarely. But I think the thing for me was that I just looked at every new day or every new challenge as a new challenge, and apply yourself and just do you. And the thing is I used to look at, you know, it looks like I had an easy breezy kind of run, but you do get in your head and you look around the room. And when I think about Drag Race, I think about clothes and outfits and this level of presentedness, which I just am not. I'm just not that girl. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not.
Yeah.
But I did really try, and living where I live, resources are very limited in a short space of time. So we did what we could and we pulled it off. But I think really what it was that when the camera turned on and it was time to shine, I was able to shine, you know, and I was able to deliver and do what I do best. So, and I think it just came down to that. I mean, I love these two. I mean, Hannah and Queen are my absolute girls. Like, and the thing is that we got to the end and we couldn't have cared who won. I mean, even in the finale, we're like, we don't even care. Like, I'm happy for either one, and either one deserved it. Like, we really all deserved it for our own reasons. So it was going to fall wherever it was going to fall, and I was just fortunate enough for it to fall my way. So, you know, but the win is, like I keep saying, the win is the fact that the three of us are able to go and do this. And, you know, I'm so busy, like it's out of control. And we're getting to go on tour together, and the three of us are great friends. So, you know, that is the win for me. Yep, okay, the bank account's great. But, you know, the girls are also the win and the experience. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm very grateful.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's incredible. Speaking of Hannah, though, this is
go.
Niru gave me this question to ask you.
This was from Twitter.
Okay, go.
Okay, we asked our viewers on Twitter to submit us some questions, so I'm about to start to ask you some like weird questions.
Please, I love that.
Were Hannah's lips even bigger in person?
What the fuck is with people and Hannah's lips? Honestly. I just can't even deal. Like, that poor girl cops it so often. Like, this question comes up. People are like, oh, are Hannah's lips really that big? And I'm like, yeah, they are. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure she had them freshly filled before she went in. I'm pretty sure they were still bruised. And
100%.
And then like if we were gonna be on the Titanic, I would be grabbing Hannah. Like that's really the reality. I'd be grabbing Hannah. And she knows that. She knows me and Queen are hanging on for dear life, and Queen probably can't swim. So, you know, we're going to be fine. Like,
oh my God.
I've got the big feet and I can kick us to shore. So it's good. I mean, teamwork.
There you go. Oh my God.
I'm sure that you get asked this question a lot, but do you think you'll ever see yourself going to all winner season? Because now, I mean, You're part of the royalty now, Drag Race royalty.
I hate, like, I'm so not. Like, when I think of Drag Race royalty, it doesn't include me. It's still baffling to me. Do you know what I mean? It just is. But at the same time, like, I appreciate that comment, but thank you. I would love to do all winners. I think it would be a very different game. And the thing is that, I mean, looks wise and in that looks department, I know what those girls are bringing at that level. And I just don't, I probably worry about that expectation on me is like, am I going to deliver it in that same kind of level? And I'm not really willing to like, I mean, I don't mean this in a horrible way, but it's like, I'm not willing to spend, you know, half of what I've earned on looking great to win another season. And that was my kind of theory going into this. This is what I'm willing to spend, and I can't afford to spend anymore because I'm just not. And but I would love to compete against some other girls, and I'd like to nail some different challenges. Like, I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah. And who would you want to compete with if hypothetically you get called next day?
See,
Like,
that's
who would you want to compete with?
really hard question because there are so many great winners. Like, when you're in the winner circle, like, there is nowhere else to go. Do you know what I mean? There is no hiding, babes. You won. There is no hiding.
Yeah.
But I think like, you'd want to be there with the best. Like, I'd want to be there. Like, why has Bianca not come back?
Yeah.
Like, please bring Bianca Del Rio back.
Because she has to lip sync.
Now that's the tea. That is the tea. But I mean, it's also probably her schedule. Like, she is so hilarious and so funny and charismatic. Jinx has now won twice, but I would have put her in there again. I'd love to be in that kind of company. And it would be nice to have some I don't know. And then there's all the international winners as well, where you want to start pulling in a bit of flavor. And we're getting there. It's starting to turn into more of like a minestrone soup now, which is great. It's not just kind of like American chicken. So it's good, you know. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the future? I'm open to the suggestion. So yeah, who knows? I'm not counting my chickens, and I'm not in a rush to fucking compete again, to be fair. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. I want you and Kita facing off.
Oh, girl. Well, see, that's the reality. Like, that's exactly what would happen in that situation. It's like, which girl's going to represent? So, and I mean, me and Keita are tight, we're sisters as well. So it's like, I don't really care who it is. And if it's not my time this time and it's her time, great, good for her. Do you know what I mean? I'm really busy. So it's, I want to just get out there and meet the people. And that's exactly why I do this, and that's what I'm privileged to be able to do. So like I said, I'm not in any rush. So if they want to do a season 3, great. But just maybe not season 2. Take Keita, please. Give me a breath.
Because I can already see the storyline. Like, Kira was the one that stepped down. Like, she gave you the crown and twice. And now you're gonna snatch the crown away from her.
I mean,
that's the storyline.
That could be the storyline, but at the same time, it would be a good one because it's true. No, fuck knows. Who knows? I mean, I don't think that they would put two Kiwis together anyway. I just don't think that they would do that.
Yeah, honestly, I can see that because they do want to.
They want to space it out and use them for other seasons. Yeah, so I don't think that they would happen.
We'll give you one more silly Twitter question.
I love these. These are great.
Marry, kill the queens on your cast. 3 people.
Oh, why do people they froth for this kind of shit, don't they? Well, we'd kill Foe because that bloody screeching. Honestly, girl, stop. Marry. I'd marry. It'd have to be a throuple, so I'd marry Hannah and Queen, and we'd be in a throuple.
Aww.
And I would kiss Yuri because he's just so adorable. Oh my god, so amazing.
Oh, not you
Yes.
making
So
it PG.
cute.
We asked
Oh, who
not
did I?
kiss.
Oh yeah, I'd
We're
Yuri
making it.
too. Why not? Hello. Come on, Yuri, take your pants off.
Ah! Oh my gosh. It's always such a fun question to ask.
Oh, I don't
love
care.
things
Like,
that's
I
like-
mean, I would never do them anyway because they're all just gross to me. But yeah. Good luck.
Oh my
So
god.
shall we get into this
Yeah,
episode,
do
Amanda?
it.
This is
Yes.
kind of a
So
juicy.
we're talking all things Canada versus the world. We're on season. Oh no, there's no seasons. We're Canada versus the
Okay.
world. We are on episode 2, which is the reading challenge.
Oh.
But Spankie, have you been watching, keeping up with the season? Like, what do you think so far? Are you liking it? Are you not liking it? What are your thoughts?
Look, it's definitely a little flat. A little flat. Yeah, I just don't know. I think my personal opinion is when it comes to the Verse the World franchises, is that I feel like RuPaul and Michelle should be the hosts of those seasons. And I feel like that is more of when you're competing for RuPaul and Michelle, because she matters as well, is that, you know, when you are competing for them, it makes you work harder. Like it makes you want it more. And there's an element of that missing because sometimes I feel like when it's a previous competitor, there's no threat. You don't feel threatened by them because it's like you've been me. Whereas when that line exists, it does push you harder. And because you do want to make them proud. You know, you do want them to say great things about you. You do want the praise. You do want to know you're on the right track and that you're progressing. And so yeah, that's where I think that the disjoint becomes. I think that's where it begins.
I agree with that, honestly. I do like when it's a non-drag race girl that like judges, because there's like this level of even not a level of like, I guess like sisterhood, but more like looking like respect thing, where it's like, oh, you're judging us. Here it feels like Brooklyn is just one of the girls.
Very much so.
Like, hey, I'm just gonna be judging you.
Very much so.
It's just it's sticking out even more because Raja and Silky were both on her season, and now she's hosting them. So I'm sure they don't feel as much pressure as if it was RuPaul.
Yeah, 100%. But you can
for
see
them.
that in their walkthroughs. You know, when they're having the conversations, you can see the key. And that's nice and all, but it's like actually from a like from a, you know, like a viewer point of view, I need a bit of that friction. Like you need a bit of the friction and the desire.
I hope next season they do like Down Under versus the World.
Oh, I hope like so too. I mean, we've got 2 seasons now. There's some incredible girls in there. And yeah, it would be brilliant. It'd be great for us to be able to start kicking some ass around the world, which would be fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, and it would also be nice to see international queens rather than just the Commonwealth.
Oh, totally.
Because right now we only got one Down Under queen. I want more like Thai queens, maybe Philippines, Holland. There's so many. Oh my god! Now
so many. It's like I see the potential for Drag Race to become like Eurovision for homos. So it's like that's how I feel like it should progress, and we haven't quite got there yet. Where it's like there's one competing for each country every time. So maybe we have 10 contestants, but there's one chosen from each country from their original season. They compete for world pride. Like that's how I feel like we could almost get to 20 contestants. Do you know what I mean? And have 20 countries competing at once. Where you're fighting for world pride of like drag queen of the world for your country. So I feel like that's where we should be moving. So there is more diversity and more flavor. And I think that's what you saw from Down Under and UK's edition. and then even Thailand. I mean, Thailand, they do things very differently. And I love that. That's what makes drag so exciting in every part of the world. It's because you never know what you're going to expect. Like, you go to Amsterdam or something like that, and you get some like punk crap, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh my God, what is happening to me? Or, you know what I mean? And that's what diversity we need to start celebrating with Drag Race too. So that's what I feel like I was a little bit a part of, which is great, is that I'm not the normal Drag Race girl. I'm just not.
Yeah,
She's
and
not
we
like
love
most
that.
girls.
Like, well, they're just more polished and more finished, and I'm not that. And I wear no pants. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come on.
From the moment you entered your entrance line, like, I'm not a sheep, I might be a sheep from, I forgot, but it's just iconic. I mean, I was Team Spankie from the very beginning, just saying.
Thank you.
And it's not just because you're here.
I mean,
I'll probably say the same thing to Queen if she shows
you
up.
so would. Like, you so would. You'd be like, oh my God. And that happens to us so often too, where it's like, we'll be at the club and this one person will come over and they'll be like, oh my God, Hannah, you were robbed. Like, I just, I felt so bad for you. And then the next minute you'll see them an hour later and they'll be like, oh my God, I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you the whole time. And we just crack up laughing so hard. Like, just make a decision. Stick to it.
Oh my God.
No, but even on Twitter, everywhere, you know it. I was Team You. Even in my recaps on TikTok, everywhere, I was Team Spankie.
It's so good. Anyway, let's get back to Canada. Enough about me. God, I'm boring.
Yeah.
Enough
I'm
about me.
so boring.
We know you've been super booked and busy, but do you have a favorite Drag Race moment besides you being crowned from this year, from any franchise, your own or a different one?
Oh, crap.
You can say you haven't watched any. It's fine.
No, I've watched like UK. I think it was really great that Danny Beard won. I think it's, again, another change in like the typical winner of the franchise, which is nice, is that I feel like we are starting to see some diversity, and we have had it, I mean, Sharon Needles, we've had, Evie Oddly, like, we've had even Jinx. Jinx wasn't picked to win either, but her talent shone through. So it's like, but it is good that we are starting to see some diversity within, that realm as well, because everybody's different and it doesn't have to be the same. It's so boring. But, oh, I don't know. That's such a hard question, because there's so many moments. I mean, there's some of the moments where it's people, about their stories. I mean, one of my favorite reads is the one with Katya being like, I think about you every morning at the bus stop. Like, I mean, you can't write that crap. Like, you just can't write that crap. But anything recently, no, I probably couldn't answer that question, because I kind of watch them as quickly as possible, or I haven't watched them yet. So
no, that is so fair. I honestly couldn't tell you one either.
Okay, good.
So.
Thank God.
Yeah. It's just too much. Yeah.
Mine's when Bombay went home in Canada. If Bombay is listening, this one's for you. I love Bombay.
Oh my God. I thought you were serious. I was like, I was devastated. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
But speaking of reading, the mini challenge from this episode was the reading challenge. It was something else. But before we get into the talking about their reading challenge, what was your experiences with your reading challenge? Are there any particular reads you remember, or like any moments that you like thought were fun?
I fucking hated the reading challenge, because for me personally, I'm very good at it. Like, I'm actually very good at it. That did not translate on the show by any means. But to really read somebody, I need to actually know you. Like, I need to know you.
Right.
And the problem for me is when it comes to the reading challenge, I feel like you're just trying to insult somebody just for the sake of the laugh. And I'm just not that person. Like, I would rather go tit for tat. Like, if you start paying out on me, I'll start paying out on you. So for me, that's not, it wasn't a highlight. And I was quite crap at it, just saying. But yeah, no, it's a horrible. I just hate it. I think it's such a stupid challenge. I mean, if it's done well, it's great. But even this episode that we just watched, this is what it looks like, and it's just dead TV. It's like,
Yeah.
if it doesn't work, get rid of it. That's just my 10
Yeah.
cents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
episode's reading challenge was
Yeah.
this was
It
crazy.
was painful to
because-
watch.
Yeah. And I know that Anita won, but she won by default. Like she okay. One of the reads that Anita said was that Silky, you remind me of an Australian movie, Priscilla, Queen of Desert. And I was like, what? Like, I know the movie. I've seen the movie, but I didn't understand that read.
I don't either.
And I don't think Anita did either.
I don't think the world did. I really don't. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, was she calling her the bus? Or was she calling her like the desert? Is she dry? Like, I don't,
Yeah.
like,
Very confusing.
yeah, I wasn't quite down with that either. I was like, I don't know, babes. I don't know about that one.
And also, like, one thing, nobody laughed at it, but I kind of thought it was funny when Stephanie was like, Raja, you once said that Evie stinks, but know that your mouth is the closest to your nose. And I thought that was hilarious.
Oh,
but
see,
nobody
that
laughed.
was, yeah, it was funny too. No, nobody laughed. It was probably her delivery. Do you know what I mean? It was the delivery.
Yeah. So let's head into the main challenge, the maxi challenge, which is Snatch Game.
Wait, Amanda, can we talk about the Victoria Scone conversation that happened in the episode?
Let's get into Snatch Game.
Yeah.
So we remember you doing pretty well on your Snatch Game. Do you like this challenge?
Oh, I was kind of set up to like probably exceed in this challenge, and I thought I was going to do really well as well. I did okay, but out of all of the challenges, by far, that was one of the hardest challenges. And from the first question and joke, I thought I'd fucked it. So I went into like the rest of that whole thing. I went into full spiral mode in my mind where I was like, I've just blown it. I've blown it. And then I kept trying to talk myself around. And I kept looking at how many cards he had in his hand. And I was like, how many more questions? Like, get me off this stage. Like, I was not happy. I was like, get me off. Like, I hate this. I've bombed it. And it wasn't what I originally wanted to do either. Like, I wanted to do Jamae from Summer Heights High. And I was going to be Mr. G and Jamae. But unfortunately, due to licensing or whatever, I wasn't able to do that. So it was just, she was a last minute choice and I had to make it work. And I mean, we did all right, but Hannah killed it. Absolutely.
You did good. You did really good.
Honestly, we did all right, but considering I was spiraling, it was okay. Like,
no, because
if I just relaxed, I could have been better. But I just couldn't stop it.
I mean, honestly, this Down Under Season 2 Snatch Game, was a masterpiece compared to the first season.
Oh, was it what? Hello? I mean, let's be real. That's no shade. That's the tea. That is the tea. Yeah.
Also, a lot of fans are saying that it's time to retire the Snatch Game. So we wanted to know your thoughts on that. Do you think so?
I agree.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think it's time for us to mix up I think it's time to mix it up, even with all of the challenges. I feel like we're starting to... the repetition is actually killing the viewer's enjoyment, because it's kind of like, oh, we've seen this, I love the ones where they chuck them in a water tank or something like that, or off the side of a building, or... I don't know. I want them to do something like that, But I think that Snatch Game, I think that it's a difficult game and it really doesn't make any sense. And it's really a masterclass in being able to improvise. How far can you take the joke? Can you pick up somebody else's? And that's what the skill is but I think that we could probably do it in a better way. So I think
Yeah.
Snatch Game probably needs to be retired. Still keep the challenge, but I think it needs a different format around it.
Yeah. They need to bring I would be happy if they replace Snatch Game with the challenge in All Stars 1, where one of the girls had to go in the streets and another one had like an
Oh
earpiece
my
and
Oh
then
god!
my
tell them
Yes!
god.
Yes! Yes! I was saying this to somebody just the other day because I was like, that is what you want. Like, I want more
Yeah.
of that. Or the ones where they had to go out and sell the cherry pie and stuff, like
Oh, yeah.
sell the pie tickets. And then they do the show. Like, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, that's real. Like, real life. Like, it's brilliant. Brilliant. Or go and just wash cars or something like that would be so funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so funny. Yes.
They tried to do something new this Snatch Game though with like Snatch Summit, which was basically the same thing. I don't know why they called it a
It was
Snatch
just a
Summit.
theme for the
It
questions.
was awful because it didn't like a summit would mean that it was basically political questions. Like it should have been,
Yeah.
the one where they did like Latrice and they had the like
Yeah.
Fifi O'Hara or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
they had that kind of whole legal feel was it should have been more like that, more structured like that, so
Yeah.
that they felt like they were actually at a summit and got up one at a time or something like I don't know. But it just didn't quite work. It wasn't
It
great.
didn't. And I think it was because Justin Trudeau came in and they were like, you know what, let's do this political thing. But then again, they didn't really have to.
I mean,
If
let's
you're
talk
not
about
taking
that
it.
for 1 second. How bloody incredible is that a
Yeah.
leader of the world came into the show? I mean, that's
Right?
incredible.
It's incredible.
That just
I was
shows what a
shocked.
remarkable person he actually is. Like he is an incredible leader of the world. And he's leading by example, which is something that we rarely see in
Yeah.
politics now, I just say. But he leads by example, and what a magnificent, ally that we have there. So I just, claps for that because that
Yeah.
is amazing.
Also shows how big Drag Race has become. You know,
Right.
and people talk
yeah,
about like, oh,
totally.
it's a TV show, but it has power to change and talk about queer
Mhm.
issues. Like it's the only show on TV that features real gay people who are not
Yeah.
sanitized or anything. It's
Yeah.
like real issues, real things. So honestly, I hope Drag Race goes worldwide, goes 200 more seasons
too.
because I'll be watching.
Yeah, me too.
And we will also
Yeah, me too.
have a job with press conference.
I mean, there's
Stay
that.
employed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I've been thinking about that side note because when Drag Race, if it ends ever or there's a break, like how big of an effect it'll specifically, like if the main franchise, like the US franchise stops,
Yeah.
how much of an impact it's going to have on just like the entire like LGBTQ like bar scene and the economy. Like it's
Yeah.
going to cause so
Yeah.
much like problems, low-key, and
Yeah.
like sales are going to go down and things like that. It's so crucial to not only like politics but also our economy and our culture.
Yeah.
It just
Mm.
it's so crucial to just a part of life, honestly.
Yeah. RuPaul,
Yeah.
if you're listening, which you're not, please clone yourself so you can live more. You know, like
Yeah, it's like if you want to retire, you can just
Yeah.
clone yourself. That's how it works.
I mean,
Oh my
or
God.
promote one of us, one or the other. Like, give us
That
the
too,
job.
that too,
We'll
yeah.
take it, babes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I can be the hilarious Ross Matthews, please.
And I can be
I will.
Michelle Visage.
Yeah. Great, done. That's our roles assigned. Let's go get to work.
Let's go.
The
right.
the conspiracy that RuPaul was not on Drag Race Down Under set and it was like a hologram. I
Oh.
love that conspiracy so much.
That's so funny.
I get asked this all the time. Like, it's crazy how many people or like how many times I get asked it. And they're like, was she really there? And I'm like, yes, she was like there. Like, I don't understand why people think that she wasn't. And a lot of people say that it's because you never really saw RuPaul in the same shot. But that's because she
Yeah.
has a better camera than us. And
Ah.
it's set for her. That's the only reason. Like, do you know what I mean? Hello.
Mhm.
True. And when she like
I
slap
would
you in
too
the
if I was
premiere,
RuPaul. Yeah.
and everybody was like, that was to prove that she's. But the thing is, like, the
Yeah.
clap was so weirdly shot that I thought, like, oh, it's a joke. Like they're making fun of us because we think she's not there, and she's actually there for this.
No. No, it
It
was
was,
like, yeah, no, it was real. It was such a that was such a highlight for me too, because that was my first introduction to RuPaul.
yeah,
But not only that, like it's like, hello, who doesn't want to be slapped by RuPaul? So it was like I was happy to go home then, and I nearly did.
yeah.
But but I would have got my free gift. I would have been like, great, I'm not washing my face for like a million years.
Yes. All right, let's
So
jump into Snatch Game. So
Okay.
we'll go through and we'll say which contestant was what character, and then we'll kind of do an overview, so our overall thoughts, and like talk about who we thought were like our bottoms and our tops.
Okay.
So for Anita Wiglet was Adele, Isis Couture was Donatella Versace, Raja O'Hara was Big Frida, Rita Baga was Gilda, Silky Nutmeg Ganache was Lizzo, Stephanie Prince was Cardi B, Vanity Milan was Spice, and Victoria Scone was Kim Woodburn. What were our overall thoughts? First, I guess, who did we think was in the bottom in our own personal opinions? Doesn't have to be what they got placed as.
oh, I have some controversial views on this one. So who goes
Okay, go.
first?
Go. No, you go.
I thought, okay, Anita, I love Anita because she won last, her Snatch Game in the original season. Her Adele was kind of embarrassing. Like, I love Anita. I think she's hilarious, but like her Adele was like, I can do a better Adele than that, Anita, and that's bad. And then Rita, who's also very funny, she was essentially playing herself, and it was just not funny.
Yeah.
And I think that,
Yeah.
in my opinion, on Snatch Game, who we know has the potential to do good, if they do bad, that's the worst thing for me. Because if we know you have the potential to
Yeah.
be amazing and you do horrible,
Yeah.
then sorry, but you got to be in the
Yeah.
bottom. That's why I think
Yeah.
Rita
I think
and
it's a lot of
Anita.
pressure. It's a lot of pressure to go into Snatch Game too, because people
Yeah,
do expect it. And I think that that's what happens, because we've seen this happen. Like some people can get over that pressure, and then other
yeah,
people, I think the pressure gets to them, where it's like I have to kill this challenge because I killed it, and it is an achievement. Like I've
true.
done it, it's so hard. So it's like it is actually an achievement of your run on Drag Race.
Hmm.
Um I think when you compare it to somebody like Ginger Minj who did Adele,
Mm-hmm.
which was iconic and
Yeah,
hysterical, and which is all the things that Adele is. It really did let Adele down. It wasn't the greatest impression. And this is no shade to my sister or anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like I love Anita and I think she's
yeah.
super talented, but it was the weakest. And even the look, it wasn't quite finished enough for me personally. Like I
I
think
thought
that
it was Celine
she did a
Dion.
Spankie Jackson. Oh well, I thought she just did a Spankie Jackson and
Oh.
just pulled a wig out of a bag and put it on her head. Which good for you, girl. I love a flat wig. But yeah, I think that she was the weakest. And also, like, I think the thing was she looked like
Oh
Lizzo,
yeah,
and I was getting Lizzo from her, but there was absolutely no Lizzo in there.
true.
I think the thing I was more fascinated about was that she could play a flute. So
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I was
true.
like, oh, you can play a flute. But yeah, I think for me, it would have been Anita and Silky, because
True,
I
and
felt like
especially it's
others had more characterization to
true.
what they were doing. Yeah,
That's true. And Anita and Silky both won their original Snatch Games, so obviously,
yeah,
like, we have higher
yeah,
expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
yeah,
What
yeah.
about you,
Yeah.
Amanda?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It was to me, it was all pretty bad. So,
Honestly, it was.
I think for me, I think Anita should have really considered if Ginger Minge has already done Adele and has like blown it out of the water. What are your chances that you are gonna do even better than her? Because Ginger Minge is
Yeah.
iconic and known for her Snatch Game. So I think that was just a really big mistake that really made her stick out even more than her competitors. So I think Anita for me would be in the bottom for this. And then for Stephanie, I love Stephanie, but the Cardi thing, like they warned her, I guess, using the as like a crutch
Yeah.
will be funny one or two times, but you can't use it a lot. And I think that
Yeah.
Stephanie did end up using it as a crutch as they foreshadowed, and it just lessens her comedy because she did have good moments, but I think having that weighed her down. And if she didn't incorporate that as much, I think it could have helped her. But for me, that was another thing that made her stick out more than the others. So for me, it'd be Anita and Stephanie. But I love both of them, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, overall, this Snatch Game was like what didn't blow me away. Especially since this year has been like amazing Snatch Games, like All Star 7, like
Well, season
really amazing
14.
Snatch Games.
Let's not forget that.
That's true. Season 14, I keep forgetting. Everybody was bad. That was wild. But yeah, I didn't quite. I wasn't blown away, but I did think Raja and Isis were really good. Even Vanity, I thought
I did
they were
too.
really good.
I agree. I thought that they did
Yeah.
all did actually pretty good. Yeah.
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 Honestly, Victoria, I was expecting so much because she had the character, but she never went all the way with it. Like it was just so polite,
No,
almost.
I agree. It
Mhm.
actually felt like Victoria being Victoria,
Mm.
pretending to be Kim Woodburn. It didn't
Yeah.
feel she was nearly there. Like she was so close to like actually being there, but it was almost like, oh, I can't be bothered, so I'll
Yeah.
give you this much. And if she'd just put the pedal to the metal and just gone balls deep, she would have probably had a really good shot.
True.
Because she was already in the pocket. You were already
Yeah.
sitting in the pocket of who Kim Woodburn was. But if you'd just given it more, hey, just put the gas on, she would have done really well.
Agreed. And she was right next to Raja. They could have played off each other because Raja was really throwing it towards everybody, and nobody was like really picking it up. And it was kind of like, oh, come on, this is such a missed opportunity. So I think,
totally.
Overall, it left me wanting more, but it is what it is. It's a hard challenge, and
right,
it's hard.
Even the questions they asked them, like, what would you do to get attention from someone? And I'm like,
it's the hardest part. It's so, and the questions just don't lead to a natural answer. That's what's so difficult about Snatch Game, is that normally there's kind of like, oh yeah, great, but it's never that. It's always like in your mind you go question mark, because that's all you can think of. You're like, what does that even mean? What am I supposed to say to that? Like, it's true. So it's designed to make you really work hard, and you can go anywhere with it. Now, after doing it, it's like there are no rules to Snatch Game. You can go wherever you want to go, and you just need to believe it and make it work.
That's true. The one point where it was like, what would you do if you want to get someone's attention? And then Stephanie was like, white. I'm like, girl, you're playing Cardi B. Save money. Like, save money. You're going to drop money on the ground. That's what Cardi B would say.
Yeah, she could have been twerking. She could have, like, there was all sorts of material for her. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just watch her. If she just watched her Instagram post, there's enough there from all of those videos to be able to make Cardi B funny. Like, do you know what I mean? There's so much material there. And I think the trap that you get trapped into is that, if you respect the celebrity and that's why you're being the celebrity, that's already a barrier. That's already the barrier, because you're too scared about embarrassing them or making them offended, but you're so like obsessed with them that you want to do them. So that's the first problem right there. If you go in that cycle, you're already screwed, because you need to be able to push on past that barrier and not care about that, because that's not an option. Do you know what I mean? You're not
True.
doing it for them, babes. You're doing it for the
Yeah.
prize. So you have to
100%.
push forward. Yeah. Don't be
True.
somebody you like. Be somebody you're good at. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Only a few people can escape that trap. Like most recently, Hannah, like doing Liza Minnelli,
Oh
and she
yeah.
kind of succeeded
Yeah.
with that. Like truly,
Yeah.
just the Snatch
She
Game.
did so good. And if you could have
I
seen the whole piece, I mean, she was
oh,
hysterical. Like I kept cracking up the whole time. So
Hmm.
that was great. Hannah and Yuri surprised me. I was not expecting even Yuri
oh,
to be that funny.
Yuri blew us, like completely blew us away.
Yeah,
Like, so proud of him that day. His Courtney Love was probably one of the best. Like, it was incredible. It was so
yeah,
good. It made me so proud that day because it's
yeah.
difficult, and he did so good.
That's what's so incredible about Snatch Game. You never know. Like somebody can be like
No,
funny. It's just it's
Hmm.
yeah. And you've seen this as
unexpected.
well. There's been previous contestants who, they aren't the funniest person, but when it comes to Snatch Games, something gets unleashed in them. And
Yeah,
and you can see this. That's where they learn about themselves, where they're like, actually, I am funny,
yeah.
and then it gives them a bit of confidence boost. And yeah, it's good. If it's
And then
anybody's
there are
game, really,
some
Snatch Game,
true. And then
there
there
are
are
winners
some
and
people
losers. Yeah.
who are so confident, but then they end up in the bottom. That's
Oh,
just
100%. Then there's that. Yeah, there's the overconfidence too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
All
smash
right.
those. Yeah.
cut to them lip syncing.
Let's
Ooh, the
move
looks.
on to the runways. So the theme was celestial bodies, which was, and it just, forewarning, this is a great runway category. I feel like we're gonna love these looks that we're about to show. So without further ado, let's starting with Isis Couture. What do you think of the look? You can talk about like what you like about it or dislike about it, and then like say if it's an 8 or regurgitate. That's usually like the
Yeah.
easiest way to get through.
Okay, so I love the headpiece.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it was like kind of unnecessary because it ended up not really being on her the whole time. But
Mm.
still
Mm-hmm.
great. I mean, she ate this look. I mean, there's no denying. Look at it. It's pretty bloody incredible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Yeah. Ate it. Yeah.
Yes.
She was
It
really
reminded
good.
me of Raja. It was giving me Raja vibes. So
Very,
like in a
yeah.
really like good way because the eye and the makeup
Yeah.
and the way like everything was big and grand. I really
Yeah.
liked
Yeah.
this one. And I think maybe I wonder if since the headpiece wasn't on her the whole time, if she was taking note from last week when Stephanie was put in the bottom and critiqued for having the headpiece on and walking too carefully.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder if that
Oh.
affected
Yeah,
the
maybe.
runway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Th-
8 for me
Can I
though.
just ask before we go further, is what are your opinions on her even being there?
Who?
Oh.
Isis? Oh,
Yes, sis.
I I love Isis. I wish that somebody else was there instead of her because she, recently won. Um,
Mm,
but I'm happy that she's there. But I mean, this better not take away the chances of her being on the winner season because I genuinely
mm.
think
Right.
that Isis would kill it in a winner season. Apparently, they didn't tell her that there was going to be a winner season when they invited her to this. So there's that.
Ah,
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm on a similar note. I'm glad to have her on our TVs, but I'm upset that she's not on all winners. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
And they're
I
not
think
doing
for
more.
me,
They're not
like,
yeah, they're not making it a plot twist that ISIS is there. She just came out with the Canadians. Like she didn't it wasn't like at the
mm,
very end where it's like, "Oh, surprise, a winner is coming." They
yeah.
played it off so much where it's like you kind of forget that she was a winner, which I really
yeah,
hate.
I think for me, like, I think from contestants kind of point of view, I don't think it's fair that she's there. She has won. And I
yeah,
think that All Stars is the opportunity for people who weren't able to reach the end for them to have that opportunity to prove themselves
Mhm.
again. So I think it's sad that, you know, some other girl was missing out on their shot to like,
Yeah.
go a bit further. And I mean, honestly, there could have been more girls there. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I think she's really talented and stuff, but I just think that I don't think that the field is level when you have a winner in the mix. It's just
I
unfortunate.
agree.
And I'm not poo-pooing her. I think she's incredible. But I just think, another girl should have been given that opportunity.
Agreed. And also 9 is such a weird number. Like 9 queens.
Oh, it's
M-
so weird.
Yeah,
Ugh.
like
Make it
Just make
10.
it
10 or
even.
Come
something.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Come on, what
9.
one
It's
extra girl was gonna kill you? Like
Oh my god.
I think they wanted like a Pangina moment this season with like,
Well, they
oh,
didn't set
Pangina
it up
was a
well
judge
enough.
and yeah, but they didn't. They didn't even do anything with it, which
No.
is unfortunate.
But Nidu, what do
I
you
think
think?
she
Is this
ate
an 8?
this. Yeah, I think she ate this.
Incredible.
We're gonna move
Next
on
we
to
have Victoria Scone. What do you think, Spankie?
um I love this look. I think she ate this. I love the skirt corset detail. I love the headpiece. I love the way it moved. I thought it was very different. It did feel like Saturn's rings moving through the universe, which
yeah,
I quite liked. I love this look. I think she ate it. Yeah, absolutely ate it.
we did. She looks so pretty in
Yes.
this. The makeup
Yeah.
is just
Oh,
I
it's just
love it.
honestly,
fabulous. Like it's actually great.
and also like Victoria, I think creates her own look, like Raja, like from scratch. I think so. I don't know if this is something that she made. Which I mean,
Yeah,
even if
it's
she didn't,
amazing.
anybody like this is incredible. So
It's amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, she ate
The way
this.
it moved, everything, like it was a moment when it walked down as well. It was very different from
Yeah,
everybody else. It was great.
this
Fabulous.
was
Ate it.
amazing. Ate.
I ate the
Yes.
scone this week and it had cream and jam on it. I ate the
Ah!
scone.
Oh my gosh. No, I really this is an 8 for me too. I think the way that the like especially with the headpiece reflecting looks so cool. And
Oh,
also, oh my god,
magic.
side note, this has nothing to do with her look or any of these looks, but they literally Nidu complained on Twitter about how terrible
Oh
the
yeah.
pictures were for you can go ahead and you explain.
So for episode 1, they posted pictures. Every episode they post pictures on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And the pictures that they posted was so bad. So it was cropped to a square, and it was the pictures of the girls entering the stage, not even like in the front. It was like all the way in the back. You
Oh,
couldn't see their looks, you couldn't see their makeup, you couldn't see anything. And so I made a TikTok and I posted the TikTok on Twitter and I called them out. I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, this is not good. Like, fix it. And then they fixed it this episode. Canada Drag Race was like
there you
taking
go.
some notes.
They responded, they said like taking notes,
Yeah.
and they literally did.
Yeah.
It's
You know what?
Oh,
Social
great.
media manager,
Good.
good job.
Good on you.
Because,
yeah.
Yeah, well done.
yeah. Because the pictures were horrible, like episode 1. And I know they're just doing their job. Do better. And I'm glad they did. So,
Mhm.
You tell it,
Yeah.
babes. You do it.
But yeah, Victoria was an 8 from I think everyone. Next we have Raja O'Hara. What are our thoughts?
I love Raja. Let me start by saying that.
Uh-oh.
I, can somebody explain like what celestial bodies Raja is representing? Does anybody remember?
I do not remember.
The silence is very telling.
No.
So
Yeah.
Silence
Like
is
Michelle says,
telling,
if you
yeah.
don't get it like right off the bat, then it didn't work. Like
Yeah.
you can't
And
explain your outfit.
true.
But
And
I
I think Raja is always like so like she always is amazing. Let's be honest. Her looks are always like really well thought out. I just don't think this was like the best. I didn't understand it, and I also think that maybe this was the look that she created at the end. You know, after having all her looks ready, this was the one that she kind of was like, you know what, I'm just gonna. So I wasn't a fan. I don't think this is like the Raja level of looks that we've come to see. It just I wasn't a fan. So I think she. I don't want to give regurgitate, so I think she nibbled like a little bit, like just a tiny bite she took. Just a little bit.
She just took a nibble. Little
Yeah. Just,
nibble. I think I agree with you. Like, I think the body is right. The fit is
mhm.
amazing. Like, but when you compare it with everybody else, it wasn't quite giving me celestial vibes at all. And I think it would
Mhm.
have been something more extravagant. I feel like there's an alien vibe to it. Um, Maybe it would have been better if she'd added like a headpiece instead of using her real hair. Like, maybe she could have done
Mm-hmm.
something that was kind of space themed that would have gone with it, which would have kind of make it more of a story. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I do think the fit is great, and I love Raja. I think her personality is just beyond. I think she's fabulous, but I just don't think that this really hit the brief this week. So, what does it
Yeah.
regurgitate? Yeah,
Yeah. I love this look if it wasn't this runway. You know?
Mm.
It doesn't
yeah,
make sense here. It would make sense probably on a different runway theme. So it's like a
mm,
regurgitate in terms of the theme, but it's like a nibble slash like small a small bite, like a little snack.
Yeah.
In terms of like the runway in
a snack
general.
it.
If I didn't
Yeah,
have everything else to consider, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, this is
True.
a mixed bag for us for sure. Next we have
Ooh.
Stephanie Prince.
Oh, I am kind of a delusional Stephanie Stan. Like, but I gotta say, like,
Not a little, a lot.
a lot. And this was so good. I'm so sorry, but like, it's incredible. I, I I know it's like the sun and the thing that she's going with, but I love how she always, at least like this year in Canada versus the world, she's connecting her own culture into her outfits, and it's so beautiful. I love it. She ate this for me. Really, I don't have any comments. Like, she ate this.
I love it. Like, I think it reminds me of like when you think about like illustrations in historical documents where they show
Mm,
you about like sun
Mm,
people or sun gods or things like that. I feel like that is really the essence of this outfit.
yeah.
She ate this. I think she looks amazing, and I think it was beautiful. I think it was just a lovely, and it was different. Again, it was eye catching. It was it
True.
was a moment, and I love it. I think it's brilliant, and like you said, I think it's great that it did feel very cultural. It felt
Hmm.
very individual to her and representing her culture and her version of Celestial, which I loved as well.
The shoes.
yes.
Wow.
The shoes are
Oh
great.
my god, I
And
know.
usually
The
that's the
shoes are
biggest
great.
complaint.
So good.
Wow. No, this was
The shoes
definitely
were
an
so
8.
good.
Like the shoes
Yeah.
alone, I'm like, this is everything to me. And they match the
Yeah.
headpiece perfectly, and like the
It's
corset
just
on her
amazing. Yeah.
bodysuit. This is
Lovely.
just perfection. I lived.
Agreed.
8.
Yeah.
Next, we got your Down Under sister, Anita Wiglet. And what do we think of her look?
I think I've seen the inspo picture for this on Pinterest, but I'm on Pinterest a lot.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
but I've definitely
Oh.
saved stuff that has this like similar vibe. There's an artist on Pinterest, or I don't know if they're on Pinterest, but their drawings pop up a lot of like very like dramatic, flowy, celestial type gowns. And so I was like really
oh.
happy when I saw this come down the runway. I was like, oh, we know this, we're thinking the same thing. I really liked it, especially for Anita. I feel like I haven't been on board with some of the like outfits we saw from last episode, but this is cute. And
True.
I love the stars and I love the moon piece. It reminds me of my friend Aura because she loves moons and like that's her whole brand. So that's one of my favorite drag queens. And so
Yeah.
seeing the moon on other people, like, yes.
This
So 8.
reminded me of Jasmine Kennedy's look. If you do remember
Yes, the
that one?
red and pink and orange one.
Yeah. It was very.
Yeah.
And I loved. I think Anita looked really good. Spanky, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is because you know Anita, right? Is Anita trying to like
Yeah.
rebrand as like a glamour queen now? Like, because I know she was like a campy queen. I loved Anita. I think her looks and everything were so great. But is she like trying to rebrand her on this show as like a glamour girl?
I don't think that that's it. I think that it's that same thing that would probably affect me if I was in this position as well, is that you do our version of drag here in New Zealand or
Mm.
Australia even is not really looks based. So when you look at, Canada,
Yeah.
there is and America or the rest of the world, there's a real pageant system base to drag, which has a different
Yeah.
level attached to it. So I think that in Anita's mind, what she was trying to do was elevate to a more glamorous version of herself.
Yeah.
But I think in doing that,
Mhm.
we've lost a little bit of Anita's flair and Anita's flavor. Um, just with her first couple of looks weren't really like my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
This outfit here, I think my only issue is I love the outfit, I love the concept. I think that the headpiece looks out of place, and I think if she'd done a normal hair and she'd done even if she'd just had the moon and not the big foamy underneath it, I think the
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
proportions would have looked a bit different. And I think that I love the colors, I love the theme of the story, but I think for me that's just the only thing that I would change. I love the
Yeah.
foamy, and I think that that's also very Anita too. That's her camp and glamour coming together. But I just think
Mhm.
that they weren't the right two things to be together for this outfit. That's my
True.
only critique really, but I think she looks beautiful. And my sister Anita, like I'm rooting for her. Do you know what I mean? I'm so proud of her, and it's all a learning process. We're all learning through it, and I know
Definitely.
she's doing the same thing, doing this as well. So it's like
Yeah.
us little Kiwis are out there, and she's the first one doing it for us. So you know what I mean? I'm behind her the whole way.
Yeah. Definitely.
Mhm. Yes.
So, what do you think? Ate, regurgitate, nibbled, devoured,
I think it was a nibble. It was a nibble.
nibbled.
Yeah, it's a nibble.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It was
agree.
nearly there. It was nearly there. Yeah.
It's like close to an 8, not exact, but like almost there.
Yeah. Next up, we have from UK, Vanity Milan. What do we think?
What celestial body was she? Do we remember?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I didn't know they had themes, to be honest. I was just like, oh, the people from space. Great. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
She looks like a space spider, like with the bottom, like
Or
legs, and
porcupine.
right, like it's like that. Maybe
Do you know what
that's
it reminds me of? Do you know what it
what.
reminds me of? It reminds
What?
me of Kennedy Davenport's chicken, crystallized chicken.
A- After a long night of
It's like a
hooking.
better version. It's like after a long night of hooking, here she comes, Vanity Milan. Yeah, she's the remix. The
Oh
chicken has
my
been to
god.
space. She has been out exploring the universe, and she has come back tinged. Good shit. Yeah, that's what it gives me.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the headpiece. I think I think Vanity is incredible, especially after last week. Like I had high expectation, and I think this didn't quite. I didn't quite understand it, I guess, and I don't like the headpiece at all, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the headpiece. I think the color is fabulous. I think the boots are
Yeah.
fantastic. I think that she could have done something completely different. She could have done a mohawk in here
Mm-hmm.
instead, and it could have been giant,
Mm.
and the mohawk could have come all the way down to the ground. Like she could have done something like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but again, it's celestial bodies. So, what kind of celestial body were you?
Space spider.
What was the inspo? Yeah, space spider girl. Get on the space spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it, but for me, the headpiece is also just throwing me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Regurgitate.
regurgitate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Agreed.
regurgitate for me.
Yeah.
Next, we have Rita Baga.
Ate this. Absolutely ate it.
Yeah, this was really good. This was created by Bunny B. Fly, who was in Drag Race Thailand season 1 or 2, I forgot. But like, she's really iconic. Like, she creates
Incredible.
looks for a lot
So
of these girls,
amazing.
and
Wow.
I thought this was really good. Like
This is
Sun, I mean,
gorgeous.
Amazing. and you knew what it was. Like, instantly came out, you were like, okay, great, I get what you're doing. Versus what Vanity did, where we're kind of questioning what you were trying to be. So it's like, no, I loved it. I thought it was very
this was
on
really good.
point. And it was different for her too, and it was just beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Yeah.
I
I have
it,
absolutely no complaints.
Yeah.
This is a devour, like head to toe. Even the hairpiece, the orange matches perfectly. Like,
it's great.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it literally looks like her hair is on fire, like it's burning.
Yeah, Tina Burner on fire.
Tina Burner burning fire.
This is what Tina Burner wanted to be.
Yeah, she did. She did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible. It is a devour.
Last week we even forgot to put Rita Baga on the list.
We did.
Poor girl. Oh my god.
Everybody was like, we're missing someone, and then we realized, oh, I forgot to put Rita Baga on the actual document. It was
Poor Rita. God.
Next, we have Silky Nutmeg Ganache. This was designed by someone I know. This was made by Troy. He lives in LA. He's from Nashville. He's done a lot of looks for a lot of queens. Like, he's done stuff for pretty much any girl you can think of. Like, loves Silky, loves Trinity the Tuck, Brooklyn Heights, you name it. He knows them and has worked with them.
That's good. I like the look. I mean, I think Silky, this is so out of the box for Silky. I think I like it. I don't like the shoes.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Yeah,
you hate it.
Sorry.
Or the shoes.
I hate it. I love the dragon. I think the dragon is fabulous. The hair does not match. It does not go. I love the structure. I love the sculpture. I think it's amazing. But not for this outfit. And I just think it's just a little bit of a cop out. That's just I think it's just not quite there. Like, if you were going to go dragon, the whole thing could have been a dragon. Do you know what I mean? And your headpiece could have been the dragon smoking instead. So, but I just think that they're great pieces. They just don't belong together. That's all. I think that they're great in different separates. Yeah.
Also, like,
and
coming
I don't
from
like
last
the shoe
week.
either.
Oh, the shoes are.
The shoe is awful.
She forgot. I think when she was preparing it, she forgot the shoe, and she realized it at the workroom. And the first shoe she grabbed, she was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna wear this because it doesn't go with the look. It's just so out of place."
That's the hardest thing about Drag Race, is the packing. The packing took me so much time because you never wanted to forget anything. And then you're only allowed to take a certain amount as well. So you're on a weight limit too, which is even harder. So it's,
The limits were just like insane given like the runways
it's
and
ridiculous.
the amount of stuff they tell you to bring.
Crazy,
They'll be like, "Oh, we need a gown, like Victoria 18th century gown with big petticoats."
I know.
And I'm like, yeah, good luck getting in an X amount of boxes.
That's one suitcase. 100%.
Literally.
Like, we had to be like Jenga or Tetris. Like, it was on the way home, nobody cared. Like, do you know what I mean? It was shoving in there. On the way there, everything was in the spot. Oh, God.
I have a question. So when you guys get on in the workroom and you take out everything, right? And I mean, you didn't get eliminated, but somebody gets eliminated and they pack everything. Does the production help them pack? Or is it just one girl packing, crying, and packing after getting eliminated?
It's literally you. It's you packing by yourself.
Oh my God. That's so depressing.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
It's awful. But I didn't have that experience. Sorry.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I'm sorry. I don't know why, but I'm picturing Beverly Hills. I love Beverly. Just crying and packing. Like, that's the first image that came into my mind, like Beverly.
Oh, poor Bev. I could so see it too, Just her is like, crying. Oh, that's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
So, what was your favorite look? Like, what was our favorite look this time?
Wait,
What
we
do you
didn't
think
say if we
overall?
ate or regurgitated this one.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Regurgitate,
I mean,
regurgitate.
yeah.
It's a
So,
nibble for me because I like the dragon shawl. I really like
yeah,
the dragon shawl. um,
dragon is
yeah,
really good.
The
just for that.
dragon's amazing. There's no, the
Yeah.
dragon is incredible.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna have to stand Victoria Scone this week. She ate the
Definitely.
scone. She did. I think that when you look at as a cohesive celestial look,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's either her or Rita Bagger as well. I think they're both in the same league. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. I loved both.
I'll pick Victoria.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ate that scone this week.
Yeah. For least favorite, unfortunately, Raja. I love Raja. Wait. Is there somebody else as bad? Oh no, I'm gonna pick Vanity. I didn't I just hair, like, it's everything threw me off. I'm gonna pick Vanity for my least favorite.
Yeah, I'm also gonna pick Vanity.
I'm gonna pick
Spankie
Raja,
is
unfortunately. No, I love Raja. I love her personality. But it didn't sell me Celestial, whereas Vanity kind of gave me at least some ounce of that by the colouring, you know.
Makes sense.
Felt very cosmic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Our guest judge this episode was Priyanka, your future Drag Race All Winners competitor. Are you excited to compete with Priyanka? I'm just trying to make things
No,
up.
because she'll just be screaming her bloody name the whole time. What's my name?
Oh.
I'll be like, shut up. That's what it is. My name is Spankie. You spelt it wrong, Priyanka. Just saying. I would just love to meet these girls and compete. I'm not gonna take it so competitively. I'm not that person. That's exactly why I ended up in this position last time, because that's just not who I am. I just came to have a good time, kiki, and try and do whatever is thrown at me. I'm not here to be a hater, and why am I gonna let other people get me down? God, move on.
True.
Yeah, check your ego at the door.
Yeah, and if you have that attitude, nobody's gonna block you in the actual All Winner season. So you can, win stars.
I don't even care though. It's by all means, block me, girl. Please, come on, keep on blocking me. I'll just keep winning. So I'll be like, sorry, you got blocked this week.
Oh my gosh.
No, who knows how it'd go, to be fair. Fuck.
So our top two for the week were Isis Couture and Raja O'Hara. Do we agree with these placements?
Yeah, I mean, who was
I
good
think
in
based
Snatching?
on it was based on the challenge. It was based on the challenge, which both of Donatella and Big Frida were the standouts. Yep, so they did deserve that. Yeah, I agree. Yep.
The lip sync song is "Skater Boy" by Avril Lavigne. What?
It's a terrible song.
Yeah.
It's such a bad song.
It is.
Yeah.
I was so confused when they said you've been asked to lip sync Skater Boy. I was like, why?
Yeah, isn't Avril Lavigne Canadian?
Yes, that's probably
I guess
why.
They can only have Canadian.
They could have picked any other song. Literally any other one.
I mean, right? It could have been anything. Yeah, Skater Boy, not the greatest choice. No.
Yeah, I probably like licensing stuff, but why? This is Canada versus the world. You can pick other songs from the world because it's literally in the name.
Yeah.
Just
yeah. Put some money in there. Come on, put it in the kitty.
I hope we get a Justin Bieber song.
Oh my god, they did for Canada season 3.
No.
The first episode. First episode of Canada season 3, they did Justin Bieber song, "The Beauty and the Beat."
Oh, they did do that.
They did, and the lip sync was trying to be nice.
Awful.
A double sachet would not have worked in the first episode. Let's just say that. That's
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Just But I think Raja and
Well,
Isis did what they did with the song that they were given. I guess they
They
had
did
to
what
make
they
the best
could.
of it.
oh, they
Yeah.
did. Yeah, 100%.
And
And
who
that's
do
the
you
thing, you
think
just have to
won?
go out there and do it.
True.
I think Raja did a really good job, to be fair.
Yes.
I was feeling Raja's version more than I was
Agreed.
Isis's version. So I was a
Agreed.
bit surprised when it went that way, to be fair. But I
Yeah,
think,
same
Yeah.
here.
again, controversial yet brave here, people. But I think that they ended up going that direction with Isis because of the drama of her sending her, Stephanie
Her
home.
own
So
sister. Yeah.
Right.
I think that's why it ended up going that way, which is
Also,
unfortunate
yeah.
because
Mhm.
Also,
Raja did deserve it.
yeah. Also, if I'm putting like my producer hat on or whatever, I think that because Isis is a winner, and this was like their
Yeah,
one chance to like, uh, just because she's the winner, it would not look good if she doesn't win any like lip sync or whatever. So I think this was their chance to just give her a lip sync win, so that okay, look, she's a winner, she's a threat, kind of, and she is. I think Isis is a threat, but I think this was just a way for them to really hit that home, I guess. So
yeah,
I'm not mad, but I just think Raja won that lip sync
I
honestly.
Mhm.
I agree, completely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Also, next episode is Ball. It's just gonna be a rematch.
Oh god, honestly, I hate the ball as well. Like I'm over the ball. Like I get it. I understand it. I get that you're into wearing three outfits and doing three looks in one day, but I'm telling you as somebody who had to do that, it's awful. I don't
Yeah.
know why people get so excited about it. They're like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, "Hell no. That's 3 times I have to get dressed. Just one time is enough." Um, and I'm sure there's some more exciting challenges that we could be doing. Do you know what I mean? I just
Mm,
really think
Right.
that we need to like especially when it gets to All Stars or things like that. It's like
Mhm.
freshen
yeah.
the pot, you know? Make them like, I don't know,
Exactly.
go and catch fish or something in full drag, you know?
Oh my
Um,
god.
I don't know, how to gut a fish or something. It'd be great.
Literally.
Start
Oh
their
my
own fish and
god.
chip shop on the beach and sell stuff, mimosas. It'd be fun.
So the lip sync prize was a luxury vacation to Mexico, courtesy of Air Canada, which I heard is not the best airline, but go
Really?
Canada! Yeah, did you
Damn.
not see like? Oh my god, there was a fleet of like Canadian YouTubers that used to make videos about how much they hated Canada, Air Canada, specifically I
Oh.
Superwoman I, which is like, I mean, she's kind of not that funny anymore, but back in the day. But anyway, and the
Oh.
bottom two was Anita
Back in
Wiglet
the
and
day.
Stephanie Prince. Do we agree with the bottom placements here?
Yeah, I think a lot of the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
girls, their runway saved them, I think. Oh, no, wait, that's not true because Stephanie had a great runway. They were just bad in the snatch
yeah,
game. They were just really
Mhm.
bad.
yeah.
Uh,
I agree.
Also, funny how this episode only had two highs, Raja and Isis, and everybody else was low and too safe. It was
Yeah,
just funny.
Yeah.
Everybody was like
yeah.
bottom, but I
Mhm.
understand.
Yeah.
And then Isis sent Stephanie home. Would you have sent
Mm.
Stephanie home, Spanky, if you were Isis?
Well, I would have kept my sister Anita. So
Mm,
it's that
right.
simple. So I think if
Right.
you really
Yeah,
want to look at it, I think ISIS, yeah, I mean, Anita did deserve another chance. I think that what she based her decision on, because Stephanie was in the bottom for the first week, wasn't she? So she nearly
true.
went home the first
Mhm.
week. Is that correct? So it's like if you're
Correct.
Yes.
looking at it, that's how I would have looked at it as well. Where it's like you were already in the bottom last week, you're in the bottom again this week. Anita hasn't been in the bottom, then therefore the fairest decision is that you go home. You've already been there
Yeah,
twice, and there really isn't the room to end up in the bottom. So I think that she probably made the right decision. Yeah.
true.
But
I
like I
agree.
said, I would have saved my sister, especially against the other people in the world. I'd have been like, no, 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 we're gonna win this. Yeah,
I would have been strategic because, okay, Anita didn't do good the snatch game, sure. But what if there's an acting challenge? Something that Anita
Oh
does really
yeah,
well.
100%.
I
Yep,
I would
don't
have been
count
like,
her
I'm
out,
not gonna
eh?
take
Like,
that
don't
chance
count her out. Yeah,
because
exactly.
you
Yeah.
right. So I would have honestly picked Anita, but not because I don't like her. Like, no, I love Anita, just to be
Yeah.
strategic and create that TV
No, but
moment.
that's how some people play those games too. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly why they
Yeah,
do it. They're like, no, I am going to get rid of my competition. I don't ever want to be a person like that, and I know Anita would never be like that either.
true.
Um, because I just don't think that that's in our nature as Kiwis. I just don't think
Mm,
it is. We
Mhm.
like to play
mhm.
fair, and it's like if I'm going to win, I'm going to win because I beat you, not because I cut
Yeah,
you out and I got
Yeah.
ahead. We're very that like we've got something to prove, and we'll earn it. Like that's the end, you know. So, yeah, no, don't count her out yet.
I love
I got big hopes for that girl. Come on, girl.
Yeah.
that.
Yes, we are rooting for her. But overall, Spanky, who do you think is going to win this season? You thinking Nita or someone else?
I don't know if it's Anita's time. I don't. I think that there's probably some other contestants that are probably shining a little bit brighter. And will
Mhm.
and towards the end. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
anybody's game at the moment. I really love Raja's personality, and I think that she's actually a brilliant queen, and I think that she does
yeah,
deserve to win a season because she's super talented. She's incredible. Her outfits are amazing. And she's just so entertaining and lovable.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I just want to have a beveragino with her so bad. Like I reckon we'd just be like singing the whole time. Um, but I mean, the thing is, she's got some stiff competition. I mean, Silky. We saw what she did in that All Stars, where she just continually kept lip syncing.
Yeah,
And she's amazing. Like she is incredible. But it's also like you've got Rita in the mix too. So Rita's a great queen too. She's talented.
true.
She's great at acting. She's great at singing. So it's like, what is going to come next? So I think they're my
That's
three
true.
front runners. I reckon some girl will chop Isis. The moment they get to chop her, she'll get the chop.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, actually, I don't think you deserve to be here. Well,
Mm,
it's not about deserving to be there. I just don't think it's fair. Yeah.
hmm.
Right, right,
I
right.
get that. I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, I'm just happy that they're not as ruthless as how they were in UK versus the World. Because those girls were sending each other home left and right. They were like, "I'm sending you home. I'm
But
sending
we
you home."
love that too. Like we love
Yeah.
that. Like it's part of the fun of it too. And I feel like that's what you want to see from these world ones, is you do want a bit
Mm-hmm.
of like blood sport as well. Like
True.
I want some blood sport. Bring back the gladiator challenge or something. Come on, fight it out.
I will
Fight for the
Yes.
never
last
forget.
powder puff in the world.
Yeah, I hope that next season it's like either in USA or Down Under. Either way, like a RuPaul versus the World season, and they have every girl because they only get 9 girls, so it's annoying. But I
Mm.
guess if that's the case, then I guess I hope they have one queen from each country. Like you said, like just have one
Yeah,
representative. That makes it more,
Mhm.
I guess,
yeah,
the fight, the hunger to like win and represent, and
yeah.
girls like sending
I
each other
agree.
home. And I hope that we
Yeah,
get to
I
see that in
agree.
like future seasons because it'll be crazy.
Same.
Okay, if
Love
anybody
it.
from your season you would like to say
Uh huh.
uh, want to be representative of Down Under, who would you choose?
Uh huh.
Girl from your season. And if you choose one
Um.
person, know that the other girls that you don't choose, you're just basically calling them trash. So choose wisely.
Oh wow. Okay, that's great. Ah, shit. That's really putting me on the spot. But I think somebody who would really benefit from it.
Mm.
Hold for applause. um, is probably Yuri. I think it would be
Mm.
great to see Yuri
Mm.
compete in the world. I think from a fashion
Yeah.
and a look aesthetic, He has something
Yeah.
completely different to offer, and every time he got dressed, I just felt juicy inside because I just love looking at him and what he presents, and it was just so interesting to me. He's the loveliest kid as well, and I think through Drag Race, he was just starting to find his feet, and being pushed out of his comfort zone. When you're in the club, you don't do this stuff. So if you
Right.
don't have this as a background from like drama school or acting or the theater, you're not going to know any of these skills. And you don't know that you have these skills until you start using or experimenting with them. And the thing was, I mean, we saw in Snatch Game, absolutely smashed it. In the design challenge, smashed it. In the comedy challenge with me, smashed it. So it's like he does really have a lot to offer, and once he gets over that barrier and finds his own confidence, I think that he would do incredibly well to represent Down Under. But I mean, in saying that, it's like Queen and Hannah are also very deserving people to be in those positions too. So I'm sure that we will see a variety of these girls come out at some point, which is brilliant because they all were incredible. All of them.
They were. This cast was one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. This year,
I
and we had
really
so
enjoyed
much
this
fun.
season.
Like we had so much fun together, and it was, it's shared trauma. But at the same time, even post that, it's like, we all do get along, and we all do message each other and keep in touch. And we are bonded for life, and we always will be. So it was an incredible experience to be part of it with these girls. And not only that, to represent these girls moving forward and to represent both of our countries to the rest of the world. So I'm very privileged to have had this experience. So yeah, it's amazing.
And thank you so much, Spankie. Like, honestly, for you to come here and talk to us, just what an experience. And
Wow.
I'm not trying to butter you up or anything, but you are genuinely one of my favorite drag queens from like Drag Race. Like, so quickly you become like one of my favorite of all time, I gotta say. And tell the
Oh, that's
people
so
where they can
kind. Thank
find
you.
you on social media, like
Well,
where
you
they
can
can
just
find you.
find me Spankie_Jackson on Instagram, and you can find me on Twitter as well, same handle, Spankie_Jackson. And also on TikTok too. So I'm on there. I'm just really messing around with the TikTok because I'm like old and stuff, so I don't quite know what I'm doing. But I'm
You're
just having fun, like making
hilarious.
stupid videos.
Oh,
Oh, that's
you
the
are.
point. If you're just
I'm
making
getting
stupid videos, you're doing it right. You're doing it right.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it, but yeah, it's definitely very interesting. I mean, I look at some people's videos and I'm like, you're so amazing. Like, how did you guys do this? Like,
Thank you.
but
Thank
yeah,
you.
no, I'm
Thank
on.
you. I know.
You're so amazing. I love watching yours as well. Like, you crack me up. Like I
Thank
loved it
you.
when you reviewed our show as well. I loved watching them. They were just so entertaining. And just so good, so good.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, find me
Also,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
The what happened to the girl that used markers to paint her face? I saw that video. I was like
Oh my
cracking up.
god! Did you? Girl, I was like dying, and she was so offended, and I was just like, I was honestly coming from a place of concern because
Yeah.
I was like, girl, did you seriously use permanent marker? And if you'd seen it, girl, it was like she had fully face painted her face with permanent marker, and I was just trying to be like, girl, like you realize your face is going to be like that for days, like that is
Yeah.
not going anywhere. And she was just like, I feel like you're attacking me, and I was like, I'm not attacking you, I'm concerned for you. But anyway, that was my night. Yeah, I have no idea. I'd really like her to send me a photo, but I think she thinks I'm a bit of a bitch now for talking about it, so I don't really care. Who cares?
No. That is
But yeah, you
hilarious.
are hilarious on TikTok. Everybody, please follow Spankie on TikTok because
Yes.
truly, truly funny.
Thank you so much.
And
I just have a good time. Yeah. Life's too short.
exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Spankie,
much.
for coming in. I mean, when I asked you, I
No,
did
thank you
not
for
think
having
that.
me.
I did
You were
not think you were
literally
gonna say yes, and I'm so happy that you said yes. Like,
we made like a list of people we wanted, like our dream people, and you were right up there at the
yeah.
top, and then Anita was like, "We got Spankie in the pod." I was like, "No, you're joking." So we are so happy for this.
No, look, I love it. And I think the thing is that what I really find amazing about you is that you are sharing our stories and you're sharing our people, and you really are bringing joy to people through our art form as well, and celebrating our drag queens and entertainers and our queer people and our queer stories. And I think that that's what's so incredible about you. And thank you for doing that, because there aren't a lot of people doing that, and that's what the joy is, and that's why I'm so honored to be here today, is because you are that person. You're so incredible. We all know you, and don't deny it, because all the queens know you. We all know you, and we all watch your TikToks and we watch your videos, and so thank you. I'll speak on behalf of all of them. They're not here, but thank you for thank you for bringing our stories and sharing our journey with us, and we appreciate your love and your aroha, as we would say in New Zealand, which is love, and your wairoa, your spirit is strong, and we stand you. So I'm happy to be here. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna crop that and put it on every social media account I have.
That'll be your, when you send out a new job ad, you'll be like, "This is what I am."
Yeah.
There we go. Clip and edit. Yeah, I love it.
They are never going to let this go, ever.
I love it. Keep it.
Oh my gosh. Right.
I love it.
Trust me.
Thank you all for tuning in to our podcast with Spankie Jackzon. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bosom buddies, partners in crime,
sisters, friends for all time. I love you, girl. I'm your biggest fan. So if I can tell you, then who the hell can
tell you? Who the
Oh my god.